Marina, welcome back to our ongoing segment of Kat and Marina. I should say Katya and Marina because that is actually my real name. And for some reason, Sean recently started calling me that. Anyways, welcome back to the show. I'm very excited to have you back.
My gosh, thank you so much for having me back on the show. I love Content Marina segments.
Yes. So, my community has been sending me DMs every time we record an episode together, and they love the Sagittarian energy that we bring and our manifesting generator energy. So we are going to just keep sprinkling episodes of various lengths. Today's might be a little bit short and sweet, but nonetheless, we're going to give you our best always. So last time we talked about identity and limiting beliefs when it comes to money, as well as it was the beginning of the year and we were talking about, and you guys can go back and listen to it. It's a good one. But today we are going to talk about a magic technique that Marina is going to share with us. And before we jump into the technique, why did you start thinking about this technique recently? Because you've been practicing it for a while and we're going to give away what it is in just a moment. But what made you come back to this?
It's so interesting because this technique is so powerful. I don't have to do it often.
Wow.
I do it maybe once every few years, and it keeps me going. And recently I was teaching this to a group of artists and they were like, "Well, how often do we do it?" And I'm like, "Not often at all." That's the easiest part about it. For it's like the lazy girl manifesting technique.
I'm all for that.
And I started to think about it because I was I recently changed my hair color. Okay. When you
Yeah, you look
change your
great.
hair, thank you. Thank you. I was blonde, platinum blonde for a long time, and I am naturally blonde. So it's very difficult for me to recognize myself with this hair color. And when we look at ourselves in the mirror, we recognize ourselves in the self referential system. We have this part of our mind that says, "Hey, that's me." And when you recognize yourself, you also recognize who you are and what you have, the confidence that you have that comes with it. And so I found that I wasn't as confident as I previously was because I did not recognize myself. And I sat there, I was talking to my husband, I was like, "Babe, I just don't recognize myself. I look in the mirror and I don't recognize myself." And then I thought, duh, I got to do my mirror technique. And then I started teaching it to the artists that I work with.
I
So
love it.
that is how it started.
You know what? This is such a great, and I can't wait to hear about the technique. But I want to say that there's different times in our life where this might be relevant when we start a new career. Or I remember when I first started art school, I was so insecure. I thought all the students were better than me. And what am I doing here? Or when you try something like coaching for the first time, it can be so overwhelming and intimidating. So it's not just visual confidence in your appearance or the way that you feel about your face, your body, your hair, but also deeper than that, right? Like your abilities, your skills, your value. So I'm very excited. And also, as we get older, too, like there might be times where we do shift in appearance, and finding that love and confidence for ourselves is going to be so important in all stages of our human experience. So, and you said that you've been using this technique since 90s, which is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So it's maintained its power.
I honestly, I have never heard of anyone using this technique. I did it first. I had this realization when I was 12 years old. And since I was 12, I was interested in psychology. So I will tell you all about it. But on the deeper level, it also underlines your identity of who you are. And as we grow, as we shift in the many seasons of life, our identity grows as well. And so connecting to it in the best possible way and also upgrading our identity as we go. This is what it is so, so good for.
That's what we
So,
need, more upgrades.
more upgrades. And it is one of those things that, if you hear mirror technique and you feel like I have to like stare at the mirror for ages and meditate and be calm and all of these things, this is none of that. This was literally developed by my 12-year-old self And it has gotten me so far. And as I learn more and more about neuroscience, I understand the value of something like this. So this is what has brought me the confidence to teach you today.
Ooh, okay. I think we're ready for the grand reveal now.
So
Okay, so how do we begin with this technique? What kind of mirror do we need? Can we use any mirror?
you want to use any mirror where you can have privacy. And you only need privacy for about 2 minutes. So even if you need to do this in public, you can go into a public restroom that is a one, has its own private mirror. You could even do it there. I love, love, love to use this mirror. This is a Murano mirror that I'm obsessed with. I
Um,
literally love it because they've been making these, it's like an artisan mirror, and they've
we're gonna
been
need a
made.
link to that.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, my Bessie office. Oh, my elephant desk.
Ooh.
Okay, this is not part of the mirror technique. Okay, so I love to use this Murano mirror because I think it's so amazing. It just instantly makes me feel so good when I look at it. Wouldn't you?
Hmm.
Isn't it so
I
cute? It's
I
so
think it's so
cute.
cute, and I feel like I need this mirror.
You need this mirror.
Okay, you're gonna have to send us a link to this.
Okay. There's literally a store in my neighborhood that sells these direct from Italy, and I was like,
Wow.
I need this. Okay. So it was quite an investment, but it's worth it. But you can do this in any mirror. So the first thing that you're going to do, and I'll just, in a nutshell, what you're going to do is you're going to think of something and then look in the mirror, and you're going to do this twice. And so the first thing that you're going to do is think of your ideal upgrade, your ideal goal. So an easy thing to think about, just as an example, because we have so many artists listening, is that you're the kind of artist that sells your work so frequently that you even have a wait list for available work, and you have a steady income and money's coming in, and it's, just easy and fun, right? Let's say we want this upgrade. So first, what you're going to do is you're going to think of all the doubts that come to mind, all the doubts of why this is either not happening yet or hasn't happened or why it can't happen. Just really go through the spiral, have the doubts, right? Just hone in on them and look in the mirror. Okay, then look away. 2 seconds, right? You don't have to look in the mirror for long, just long enough to catch your gaze, to look in your eyes. And then the next thing that you want to do is think about the upgrade version of this, right? The best case scenario. You're already an artist who is super in demand. You are literally an it girl, right? People are obsessed with you, with your work. Galleries are just knocking on your studio doors. You are selling work directly to your collectors through the galleries. You have brand collaborations. Everything is happening, right? Imagine that. Imagine how you would feel when that's happening, right? Just be like, okay, I'm just going to imagine this for a moment. This is literally it. And you step into your body as you're imagining this, and then you look in the mirror. And when you look in the mirror, suddenly you look different. And when you recognize yourself the second time you look in the mirror, in this best case scenario, lock that version in and take that version with you, because isn't that the version that you want to live?
Beautiful. I love that. That reminds me a little bit of the swish technique and but visual. And I think the visual part might be key for us visual people. And that is something like even though the mind is so powerful and our imagination is amazing, I think yeah, associating our image with this new future and this new possibility. Thank you for sharing that with us so generously.
It's my pleasure, and I can't wait to title this technique. I feel like it is so fun. It is something that is so easy to do. Even a 12-year-old could do it. And which I was 12 when I did this for the first time. And it's just amazing. And no matter where you are, even if let's say you're on a date and you're like, I want this to be better, then go into the bathroom at the restaurant, do this technique for it to be a better date, and you're golden. It's
I love
amazing.
that so much. And is there something that came up for you in terms of your clients or something you've been hearing working with other artists that inspired you to share this technique?
Yes, there's a client I was working with closely who was, how can I put this? Not doing anything. She was just procrastinating because there was one doubt after the other that kept coming up in her mind. Everything was just doubt, doubt, doubt. She actually had an exhibition space to put on an exhibition. She
Wow.
had the community to invite to this exhibition, a community of collectors, and yet she was paralyzed by all the doubts. And so there are so many mindset techniques that we can use. But in the moment that I had with her, I didn't have that much time. And I remembered this technique and I did it. And I got to tell you, I was on a 45-minute call with her. By the end of that 45-minute call, we had the dates for her exhibition. We had her press release done for the exhibition. And she felt like, she said she felt like she had a weight lifted off her chest.
Wow.
So,
That's
yeah.
amazing. That's beautiful. And it's true. I mean, art is so personal. I was recently reflecting, and I'm going to share more on another episode too. But I was reflecting when I went to visit Michigan State, and I got to meet these amazing young artists, these students that were pursuing their bachelor in art. And there is so much like overwhelming opinions from their professors and the industry. And what do I do? And what would you say to an artist who feels paralyzed by either choice or doubt or uncertainty? Like, oh my gosh, all these voices, all these options, all these possibilities of failure. What would you say to
Yeah.
them?
So, first of all, embrace failure. The more you fail, the more you succeed. It's
I told
just
them to.
what else are you gonna do? You can't succeed 100% of the time. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know. I'm an eternal optimist, Sagittarius. But I, the other thing I would do is I would tell them to think about how they want to feel and what else can make them feel that way as they go on through their journey. So every time, every day, do something to feel that way. So if you want to feel like a successful artist, what makes you feel like a successful artist? Maybe it's not just the practical, tactical of getting invited into shows or selling your work, but maybe using fancy Italian toothpaste makes you feel like a successful artist,
Love that.
right? So start there. Start there because it's a domino effect. And
Mm.
every little thing that you can do, start to upgrade yourself into that version of you.
Marina, this is so beautiful. And I'm so, so grateful for you. And I can't wait to have you on another segment. It will probably be a longer one next time, but this was a powerful technique that we can all pocket away and use. Probably should use it every day or as much
I
as we can. What is currently happening in your corner of the world? What are you working on? How can we follow along? Tell us everything.
Well, first and foremost, I would love to connect with all of you on my podcast, which is the MFA podcast, where you get your real life MFA, and follow along with me at the Artist Advisory on Instagram. I'm also going to be launching the Artist Academy soon. It is the ultimate career course for artists where you learn how to get into good galleries, master your mindset, and build a sustainable art career. It is all of the practical, tactical with the mystical blended.
It's an amazing program, and I love it as a participant of a previous cohort. And I will definitely link everything for our listeners. Marina, it's always a pleasure to see you and to share your wisdom with our community. And I can't wait to see you in a few weeks.
Same, Kat. Thank you so much.